Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. So to get things started off, like every week, let's take a look at some announcements. And we've got a pretty good one here this week. We've got Memorial Day coming up on Monday, so we're going to be having a Memorial Day sale. Specifically, it's going to be on 10-inch petunia and calibrachoa baskets. And the sale actually starts today and runs through Memorial Day. And you can get them 2 for $25. Now they're normally $14.99 each, so you're saving about $5. And you'll probably see our ad coming out in the newspaper this week. This was the proof of it, but anyhow, yeah, come on out and get your petunia and calibrachoa baskets. And if you're feeling patriotic, we do have some red, white, and blue mixes, like the one you see pictured there. And our other announcement is our Yard of the Month contest. It is back for this year. Last year we did it. I'm not sure what the months were. I think it was June, July, August, September, and October. This year I decided to go ahead and start it in May. So the photos for May are going to be due by, well, I messed it up right here on the screen. They're actually going to be due by Friday, May 31st at 5 p.m. But you know, if you get them to me by noon on Saturday, we'll go with that too. Okay, since I messed it up. But yeah, you can send your Yard of the Month photos to ask@bobsmarket.com, just like you did for our spring photo contest. And then we'll pick a winner. And what we do for our Yard of the Month winner is we send a whole gift bag full of stuff. So it's a really great prize. And hopefully this year, I'm going to get some yard signs printed up for our Yard of the Month winners. Well, moving along, let's take a look at some helpful gardening hints and tips. And if you get our newsletter and read it, you will have seen that this week we were talking about vinca. Now in the article I talked about both annual vinca and also the perennial ground cover vinca. It's also called periwinkle. But I wanted to specifically talk about in this video annual vincas because that's what we grow by far the most of. We sell the perennial periwinkle or ground cover vinca at our markets, but we don't actually grow it ourselves. We get it in from another supplier. But annual vincas, we grow thousands of flats of them. So let's take a look at some care tips. Hi, John Morgan here with Bob's Market and Greenhouses. And in this video, we're going to show you how to care for annual vinca. Now there's two different types of vinca. There's the type that we grow as an annual, and then there's also a shade-loving perennial. But the two plants are very different. Annual vinca takes full sun, while the perennial vinca is a shade plant. But today, we're going to take a look at these guys. You've got to love annual vinca. It really delivers. It will tolerate a wide variety of conditions and still look great with almost unreal looking, glossy green leaves and pretty pink, lavender, or red flowers that look like tiny parasols. Whether the summer is dry or wet, hot or cold, vinca chugs along unfazed. It makes a great container plant or planted in a bed or border. Grouping at least 8 or more together creates the best effect. Only plant annual vincas after all danger of frost has passed. And while they are drought tolerant, they do require moderate moisture for best growth. And while you're watering them, I recommend using a water-soluble fertilizer every now and then. They don't require a lot of fertilization. When it comes to planting vinca, you want to space them 5 to 10 inches apart to ensure that they fill in the best. And like impatiens, vinca are somewhat self-cleaning, so they require very little deadheading. For this, another great information, visit us online at bobsmarket.com. So those are some vinca care tips. And moving along, let's take a look at the Gardeners weather forecast. And actually, I just looked down at my phone here and it just lit up. There is a frost advisory for tonight. And the temperature, it's going to get down into the mid-30s tonight. So there's a pretty good chance of frost. So you need to go out, cover up your plants, bring what you can inside, because it's going to get pretty cold. And as I said in the vinca care tips, they're one of those plants that are very cold sensitive. So if you have them already planted out in your flower beds, you want to go out and cover them with a blanket or a sheet or something like that to help protect them. But it's going to be pretty cold tonight. This weekend, with Memorial Day coming up, it is going to be just beautiful weather. We're going to be up around 70 tomorrow for the high. And then we're going to drop back off to around 40 tomorrow night. And then 72 on Sunday. So it's just going to be gorgeous. And then for Monday, we're going to get back up kind of into the mid-70s. So kind of a more seasonable temperature. And there is a slight chance of a passing springtime thunderstorm or shower. And moving on into the week, we're going to continue a warming trend into next weekend. And again, you know, it's springtime, so there's always a chance of a stray thunder shower here or there. Our next chance for some more widespread rain, it looks like it's going to be more toward next weekend. But looking at the temperature, this is the extended temperatures. You can see that cold dip tonight, and then kind of the gradual warming trend this weekend into next week. And then the next drop off there is June 1st and 2nd, next weekend. And the rains that we had yesterday, as far as our allergy forecast goes, it kind of helped. Now I'm a little bit itchy today, and actually my eye's watering right now. But right now on our allergy scale, we're at a 6.1, so we're kind of right in that medium range. So if you're affected by seasonal allergies, it's not really too bad right now, but it's not great either. Of course, we're still kind of in that tree pollen time of year. So tree pollen is an issue, but also on the rise right now, we have grass pollen. And that's going to be kind of the predominant thing over the next couple of weeks as we get kind of into mid-June. And then once all the hayfields get cut off, our grass level, it should drop back down. And moving along, looking at the Gardeners Almanac, if you follow the almanac, we're actually starting to move into a barren period over this weekend, so it's not a great time to be out working in the garden. And really with the cold weather, I wouldn't want to be out there anyway. But the 27th and 28th, those are going to be great days for planting root crops. So things like late beets, potatoes, onions, carrots, anything like that, great time to plant. And then toward the end of next week, 29th through the 31st, we're heading into another barren period. So it's going to be a great time to kill weeds and other plant pests. And well, that is our show for this week. And I'll look forward to seeing you back here next week at 4 o'clock.